So there is a chance that she could oust him.
Hello, hello.
Governor, that's the only way he gets ousted.
Well, my friend, Sierra, is about, yeah, she wants.
She's ready?
Yeah, she's ready.
He said.
But, because they gave her like, first thing she got.
Yeah, of course you do, but, no, I know.
I just like
You
it
saw it.
because
You.
he was
Then,
slime.
next time she
I'll
went
never,
there,
ever
it was May 30th.
I should have taken you.
She's ready after Wednesday, after the 10th, she's ready. And she's next
They
week
take
today,
it serious.
so
I
I'm
didn't take it
scared.
serious.
I said, uh-oh.
But I should have just, should have said, you know, I really, my mind would be so much better off for suffering that.
Absolutely. Justin.
Well, I
I'm actually out of the office next Wednesday.
What did they say about
I mean,
next week's bad, too.
They said, write it down, we'll do it for.
I don't either.
I figured it out of courtesy.
I know.
List of things that and all the research on it.
They went down and asked, like, yeah.
It's gonna,
The whole formula needs to be not just for here, but the whole state formula is also needs to be.
at the end of the day, it was the value.
But Sierra's all, she's done work.
Yeah.
So it was at school.
Perfect. Let's just go out. So, anyway, where's he been for?
I think Teresa was going to.
I have him, I have most of them.
I think you put the agenda there.
That's all.
She was gonna sign it right away tonight.
They always have her and Michael have Sunday.
Yeah, it's just
So, you just gotta sign the same line on every form.
I know, it's got long hair. Oh, I love it.
Norm. Hey, I just had you took care of the schoolwork. I was supposed to, but you did.
Speaking boy.
Yes, I absolutely. I have a long list of things to go over, so. Can't wait, right?
We're on our way.
Good, how are you? We got our youngest member. He's like, I'm not messing around. Did you notice what was in each seat?
Yes, I did.
Cocoa butter, vanilla, what am I saying?
That's, oh, probably the baby.
All right, thank you. Around a little bit. I'm going to state myself for a week soon, so.
So these black pens that are in front of you is for your penmanship lessons tonight.
Oh, that's right, we have to sign. So we'll make sure we use the black and. I always forget that black. Yes. And I always use it like, you can eat this with hair.
Perhaps you guys have to sign all over and everything. And then to be that person.
What's that? No, it's up back. Let's. You know what I mean?
Is that the driveway just before you?
No, that's the right of way leading right up into the trailer. Yeah. Liddy Letts, you remember her? Her and her brother owned it. And they're putting it up for sale. Quite a lot. Like $350 or something like that. For a trailer and 5 acres of land, it's all land.
I think I put one on every table, but I didn't. I'm just surrounded.
So, we have the real estate value, the building value, both are tied physical value. Personal value is that third way.
No. Well,
I have an appointment.
Comes out of the middle. Personal property.
Yeah, so I was on it. I was also gonna call but either way, we should be able to be there. It starts at 10.
I was anyone.
I give the girls one more day of
You need to know where you stand, don't you?
I guess so.
I meant to get back to you, but I know I had that.
That's the one.
If they had
Yeah.
multiple subjects on a two-day end,
Yeah.
like science,
Right.
it's just one of those
I made a mistake of like sitting down and having a solution.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Although
Good evening, everyone. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
First up on the agenda is to see what action the board wishes to take regarding approval of the minutes from the meeting held on April 10th, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second. Karen, thank you. Any discussion on the minutes from April 10th? All in favor? Thank you. Citizens' comments? Michelle's gonna speak during your report,
Don't want to get on too early.
so. Board member comments? Chairman's report. Last week, Dave attended the New England Association of School Superintendents in Rhode Island. Was that last week?
Yeah.
And he was nominated and won the Lincoln Lynch Career Achievement and Education Award. So, congratulations. Dave won Superintendent of the Year a couple of years ago, so well-deserved recognition on both accounts the last couple of years. So,
Thank you.
thank you for that. Committee reports or committee meetings. Our next meeting is Monday, June 26th, 2023 here. Before that, we have the public budget hearing Wednesday, May 24th in the auditorium. The Education Committee is proposed to meet Thursday, May 25th, 2:45 at Norway Savings Bank. Finance and Negotiations Committee.
Finance are recommending that we get together next Thursday, May 18th at 4 o'clock, if that can work for people.
I won't be here.
Okay. In that case, Mark, you're in charge of making the entire presentation at the public budget meeting. You okay if they meet though?
That's fine with me,
Okay.
it's just I'm gonna be out of town.
Okay.
Did you say 4 o'clock?
If that works for you.
Sure. Thank you.
And then facilities, well, we're looking at Thursday, June 15th at 5:30 at the Whitman
Yep.
Memorial Library in Bryant Pond, if that works for folks. And sorry for the delay, things are just crazy between now and the end of the school year, lots going on, so. Great.
The next Region 9 meeting is Wednesday, June 7th, 6 p.m. over at Region 9. going to committee reports. Stephanie, anything for the education committee?
No, we have not met. We had a postponed meeting, so nothing to report.
All right, and Marcy?
Wendy's gonna look for
We don't have much to report. We are gonna be voting on 2 policies at the end of today.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
We have not met since the last board meeting, so nothing to report.
And Mr. Clanton, Region 9?
Thank you. I understand Dr. Murphy has a printed report, but he wasn't expecting me, so I guess the top item on the agenda was that we passed our secondary and our adult ed budgets last Wednesday night at Region 9. I think we had something over 70 people there for that, so that's always a relief, you know. You expect it's going to fly, but until it's actually voted, it's always a little trepidation. We will be, in the next couple of days, sending out 195 acceptance letters to students for various and sundry programs. Doesn't mean they'll all come, but that's an awfully good number. And that does not include the freshmen and sophomores who might be coming into the Intro to CTE program. I don't know how many that may be. So we're going to have a full school. Ergo, we are hiring, so we need a full-time custodian. We need a full-time building construction instructor. We need a half-time fire science instructor. We need an ed tech for our culinary program. And we need a half-time machining instructor. So if you know anybody that feels, might fit those things, send them our way, because we're looking for some staff. It looks like we're going to have a lot of students next year, and so it's pretty exciting. And we've been meeting with Harriman Associates representatives working on our new welding lab that we got authorized with the grant money. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Turn to Dave, the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Quick apologies. Page 2 on your agenda was a draft. It wasn't the original, so there is one item on there, latest update on Maine school funding that should not have been included. And we do know how to spell May at the very top of that page. Since the last board meeting, we have accepted the resignation. I have accepted the resignation of Kara Kimball, TMS grade 8 social studies teacher, effective at the end of the school year. She'll be leaving to take on new adventures. At this point in time, I would like to ask Ms. Michelle Verullo-Cole to come forward and tell us a little bit about why she's here tonight.
Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm here today representing the Bethel Rotary Club. And the club received a gift last winter from the Snogren family in Bethel. And it was the request to be used for the music education, instruments, or any other music-related support needed for the youth in our community. The funds were given to us in honor of Ruth Snogren, who is over 90 years old and a lifelong music educator and organist. So the club had conversations with Ms. Safford from the Crescent Park School and the music program, and we think we found a way to pass on their gift that will meet the wishes of the Snogrens. And I have here a check for $1,000 to present to SAD44, and let me get this right here, is to purchase a Yamaha console digital piano for the general music classroom. So, with pleasure, on behalf of the Rotary Club, here's the check.
And I did send a link out earlier today. If you didn't get a chance to see it, it's in your mailbox. It has a picture of what this console will look like. So thank you very much to the Rotary Club and also to Sarah for her part in this as well. So thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I pass right over to Deb. Here we go. Thank you. So Mr. Kinney could not be here tonight. As I mentioned, I did tell the principals and the building administrators and building district level administrators that they could do other things tonight because May and June are crazy, but Mr. Kinney was planning on coming until he got hit with both strep and stomach bug. So he did want to send on some information regarding the next item on superintendent's report, which is the announcement of Telstar High School Student Recognition Awards. So this is from Mr. Kenny, and I'd like to read it to you. 2023 Maine Principals Award. This recognition went to senior Gabrielle Gabby Groves, daughter of Scott Groves of Woodstock and Heather Groves of Bethel. This was the first year in over 3 that the event was held in person, and at the dinner, Gabby was drawn to receive one of the $1,000 scholarships that are given out that night. Gabby has been very involved in her class, National Honor Society, founding member of the Civil Rights Team, Student Council, and spends countless hours at Toe Tap and Jazz Dance Studios. Gabby will attend the University of Maine at Orono next fall, so congratulations to Gabby. Jana Botka is this year's recipient of the River Fund Maine Scholarship. Jana is awarded $20,000 a year for the next 4 years to help with her educational pursuits while she attends Salve Regina University, Rhode Island in the fall. Jana is the daughter of Eric and Kate Botka of Bethel. Jana has been very involved with NHS, National Honor Society, the Civil Rights Team, drama and band at Telstar. She follows previous award winners from Telstar, Lucy Rothwell and Bailey Frazier. So congratulations to both. And those are great recognition awards. PTA updates. Again, Mr. Kenny could not be here tonight, but he did send off his comments about the most recent updates for the PTA at Telstar. Officers were elected for next year. Jamie Miller, President. Marcy Winslow, Vice President. Congratulations, Marcy. Heather Kellogg, Treasurer. Amy Marshall, Secretary. Last week, the group hosted a social for the staff after school during a staff meeting for Teacher Appreciation Week. Later this month, we'll also be receiving their seedlings from Young's Greenhouse as a second part of their thank you. The school clothing store is open once again, and the link can be found on their Facebook page. Last week, the PTA provided goodie bags for all students in grades 6 through 11 for NWEAs to wish them well on their state testing. So that's what's going on there. PTA for Woodstock, Jess Wilkie reports they've elected new officers to fill the roles of president and vice president, now wrapping up the year with a luncheon and gifts for staff appreciation, and planning end of the year field day events. PTA helps to plan and run fun outdoor events at school for field day. They also put on a barbecue lunch for students and staff that day. PTA will also provide funds for end of the year awards and field trips. And for the, Destiny, I did not see you there, I'm sorry.
In a second,
Anything you want to add?
No, I think that just about wraps it up.
Okay, well said.
Yeah.
Ms. Arsenault, I did not get a report from her tonight, but I do know that they are in the process of going through many of the same things that I just talked about with Woodstock, basically preparing for end of the year activities, re-electing or electing officers for next year, and they'll continue to be active as the year comes to a conclusion as well. Telstar High School graduation is Friday, June 9th, 2023. If you are looking for seating for that, please feel free to contact either me or Mr. Kenny, and we'll make sure we have reserved seating set aside for you. And as you see, we have a special guest speaker at this upcoming graduation. Senator Angus King is scheduled to attend, and we're hopeful that happens. We all know senators' schedules can change fairly abruptly, but at this point in time, that's what we're anticipating.
How'd that come about, Dave?
We were contacted, the high school was actually contacted by the senator's office saying that he'd like to come and speak at graduation. And that concludes our report for tonight.
All right, thank you. No old or new business. We'll move to number 3 on the agenda. See what action the board wishes to take regarding the appointment of a representative to the Region 9 Cooperative Board for a 3-year term. And I think if anybody would like to make the motion, we are looking to renominate Mr. Blanton. So
he's a rookie. He's only been on that board for approximately 40 years. Mr. Blanton has represented the district well for all those years, and he's indicated an interest in continuing that capacity. So.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion on the nomination of Norm Planton to the Region 9 Cooperative Board for a 3-year term? All in favor?
Going for 50. If I could, before, I just got a text message from Tanya Arsenal, so since the last, if I could just share that. Since the last school board meeting, the CPS PTA has been focusing on staff appreciation, officer nominations, and field day. I know my district well. This week, the PTA is providing snacks, doing giveaways, and providing lunch for all staff. PTA is also working on planning the CPS field day, which will be on June 14th. So.
Great. We'll go to number 4. See what action the board wishes to take regarding the approval for a vote to call a district school board referendum election and approve the warrants for that purpose. Most of this is legal jargon, as we know, but if somebody would like to make that motion as, or read that motion below, that would be appreciated. It's lawyer jargon, but it should be said.
Everybody thinks it.
Don't all jump at once.
Okay, I move that the vote entitled Vote to Call and Approve the Warrant and Notice of Election for an at-large school board election be approved in form presented to this meeting, and that a copy of said vote be included with the minutes of this meeting. Do I have to yell this? Vote to call and approve the warrant and notice of election for an at-large school board election. Voted that the warrant and notice of election presented to the meeting be approved, and that an election be called for June 13th, 2023 for the purpose of conducting an at-large school board election as described therein.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? You?
Now the fun begins. Mrs. Martin has a packet of papers. Again, please use that black pen that we gave you so that we're consistent. You also do need to sign on the same line on each of these signature pages. So please make sure you follow progression consistently.
Yeah, just, well, you can just set right there and then I'll grab them. Unless you want to print them on the other end.
It might be a while.
So you could have had headshots up there. Oh, right, not a bad idea.
We mentioned that.
No, they're all separated by town, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll be traveling around to all the different town offices and posting places throughout the town to make sure that the appropriate paperwork gets passed out and or posted.
This is different. Let's do this.
In those houses.
All right. Yeah, that's nicely down through. It's a little serious that.
I don't feel like I'm rushing.
Everybody votes for everybody.
We just come as a pair.
Town vote.
No,
As long as they're on the right.
I can sort them all out.
Okay, because I definitely messed that
So
up.
you
I messed up before you did, so it's okay.
Just don't sign it.
That's all I got. That I can handle.
I say that.
Right, I'm just looking for your name and then I go on that. Okay, do that. Oh boy, that's putting a lot of pressure on me, Cheryl. Is that right?
a similar thing in New Hampshire where everyone voted for everyone, but when they got to that point.
Sorry, the wrong name.
Oh, your town should have the same number of representatives, so everyone had, all the towns had 2 people, no matter how big they were.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a game of one man schools.
Well, mine is
When I end up, it doesn't even look the same.
It's already changed significantly.
Hopefully we're
Trying.
calling that into
Right.
question.
Yeah.
How many people in school? We had 5 towns, so, and we had 2 people from,
Are you?
so 10, each town plus one.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
like the important part. You did that last year.
Oh, you're just a board.
Yeah. The next one has like what?
I started
Exactly.
Not,
and then I guess
not 40 times 3.
Right.
Get out of this. 2020, I think.
Mine too, yeah.
I'm saying that, one was one year that we did, basically trying to, yeah, I was thinking that before.
David, you can sure do this.
Weird. Because you have to put so many.
Do you have an extra one?
We do.
Thank you. I know I was late, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly one. One, so that's good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
It's weird, you only have to sign like a couple for each thing, and then we, I don't know, the email, I don't know, it was just odd. It was hard to go back and forth and try to figure out what we needed to do, right?
Oh, you do?
Do you?
No, I'm well above it.
Okay.
It's like 12 late.
Oh, one of that's for it.
You want one?
What are you laughing at?
We have a good system.
Okay.
Take around.
I don't want to get all the way to Greenwood City Fire Department.
I gotta find a humor in this one.
That's what happened a couple years ago. It was something else. We're gonna put you on a tractor?
Dealing with lead contamination.
Oh, I
in the
know.
house
Marcy, I think one of these is out of order.
You didn't even allow a breath.
That was not
Very
nice.
All right, if everyone's okay with multitasking, we'll go on to number 5 while everybody's signing. To see what action the board wishes to take regarding approval for a vote to call a district budget referendum, call a public hearing, and approve the referendum warrants, and approve the notice of the public hearing. Somebody want to turn it? All right.
Sign. I move that the vote entitled Vote to Call and Approve the Warrants for the Budget Meeting and the Validation Referendum and to authorize the notice of amounts adopted be approved in form presented to this meeting and that a copy of said vote be included with the minutes of this meeting. Vote to call and approve the warrants for the budget meeting and the budget validation referendum and to authorize the notice of amounts adopted. Voted that the warrant for the Main School Administrative District number 44, the district budget meeting presented to the meeting, be approved and that a district budget meeting be called for May 24th, 2023 for the purpose of voting on the annual budget of the district for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. And continue on, correct? A, that the warrant and notice of election for the district budget validation referendum presented to the meeting be approved and that a district budget validation referendum be called for June 13th, 2023 for the purpose of approving the budget adopted at the district budget meeting for the 2023-2024 fiscal year and considering whether to continue the budget validation referendum process. And that the form of notice of amounts adopted at budget meeting presented to this meeting be approved, and that the superintendent of schools of the district be authorized and directed to complete said notice in accordance with the district budget meeting on May 24th, 2023, and to cause copies of said notice as completed to be delivered to the municipal clerks of each municipality of the district for posting at the polling places for the June 13th, 2023 district budget validation referendum.
I'll second.
There, take a breath.
I'll second it.
There we go. Teamwork.
Alright, so the first one was for the school board referendum, this one is for the public budget hearing. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Thank you.
A quick clarification on that. I think the motion that Erin just read mentioned something about the continuation of the budget validation referendum. We actually voted on that last year. Different districts vote on it different years, so that won't be something that's actually included.
Is that every 3 years, Dave?
Yeah.
So get them going.
I hate to do what you've done. That's my safety finger.
That's for the first one, yes. That's it for that one, and then this is just a one sheet.
Alright, what's yours?
One
Just
sheet,
a
one
one
sheet,
sheet.
just the one sheet.
And this one I get. Give it the right stack. It's just,
Oh, darn, it's not his fault.
Just scribble.
Yeah, it's all good. Whatever. There's a Z in there now.
So do you want to say something before you leave that? Say something?
I'll read it first, then I'll say before we take a motion.
Now I see why Sierra's third is 3 levels. Eva, Lisa.
yeah.
It's coming. This last is just one paper.
Oh, boy. Here's the last batch.
Alright.
Then here comes the rest of them.
Yeah, okay.
She gives us a little break in between, say.
She doesn't want to
Just teasing you.
Yes, exactly, that's what it is, teasing us.
I know, I put it in my skin.
The wheel here.
I know, he's made for it.
Who's gonna go now?
He's getting ready to be up all night.
Yes. Yep, exactly.
No, I don't think so.
That would sleep good.
Yes, you're totally right.
Yeah,
Vincent
did you
J.
hear what happened?
Vincent
No. He took a putt to the
something
It's tournament.
Yeah, notice.
2 weekends ago? Oh, yeah, it's beautiful to look at. He didn't. So his, and that's why he didn't have to. The dentist wasn't gonna get him.
I wouldn't be able to spell it.
But
Even if it
called
was bad.
today to have a cancellation.
That's fine.
He's
You
gonna
would have been here another 20 minutes.
half of 2 teeth, one tooth has nerve exposure. Okay, yeah. He doesn't.
Right.
He like got married and stopped wearing uniform. Well, maybe he'll need his teeth. Maybe he'll start.
So I had a son from my daughter. She passed her first, she had a baby, right? And started signing
He was like, I'll just do that.
It was arbitrary. They just took all the nobody would pay them. Nobody declares it. You have the whole deed was not there on April 1st. It wasn't that half.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's good, at least it's covered.
Yeah, you're chasing ghosts.
I've never
So,
seen
I
it.
didn't have that. She's wrapping herself in the flag, so maybe that's her way.
She's having pretty adamant.
No, it's just, she's trying to invoke the boogeyman, there's gonna be a lawsuit, this, that. Everyone in Maine knows about that. State officials will look at it, they were like, they put an allowance in it. In the state valuation, which dictates the schools.
Well, I mean, if there's no negative recourse. Why not?
There was so little, there isn't. Just, the long list of issues that should be dealt with up there, none of them do this issue. Anyway.
So you think you're gonna pursue it?
Yeah.
The first time I put my head up, I looked now.
The irony of Natalie's situation is that her training is an assessment. Yep. But in a very technical sense, she was ready for the organization. It's just an assessment.
But she had a short signature now, don't she?
Signing after
Yes.
That will never change. That will Percent-wise, in terms of the total taxable value, I think that personal property is under 5%. Very, everything is being and so really what the net effect is shifting the curve. If anybody's committing a sin, it's not the order. Slight shift.
When are you stopping?
Everything else is
Not just going around and around.
no town does it.
Yeah, right.
And then the Rumford type municipalities, we have a lot of fixed assets.
I always forget what this feels like.
Yeah. I'm laughing. 'Cause
It's all game.
I'm like, what are you doing? Nah, it was Sunday.
Depends on what treatment you use. The one that's typically covered for the
Not that they don't run very. I don't think they get them in. Yeah.
Right, well, whatever, this card, this card.
When we start August 1st. Yeah. That's good.
So maybe there's a different base.
I'm gonna go to, Charlotte?
Or no?
Play outside.
My friend and I are Sunday.
We didn't do something, we did like.
How you doing, Meredith? Good?
She'll have a week off. I still have not done it. We had, up close to drive through the yeah. Yeah.
I know. We're just running through these through a second time in case you think you've signed these before.
I go. I'm pretty good at my first name, I forget what my last name is.
Bob Blake is very vigilant on that issue.
His eyes on me.
He is funny.
He was like looking around and he just saw me.
Him and I have moved to the veteran program. We have moved to the call me out and think about go to all this. You're good? Yeah. Back down. Sheen and anything.
It's funny, I've seen signatures way back in '84 when I first had it. My name was a lot longer than it is now. Every time I signed my wife's diploma, I was on the school committee the year she graduated from high school. I was only 3 years older than her. I didn't know her at the time.
Oh, that was a senior citizen. Oh, yeah. Sure. You know, you might as well give it. It's not workable.
I think I saw it fall.
Biggest concern I have is people.
Just gonna say, detention.
Well, of course it will. I mean, you're sort of bound, sort of trying to do the best you can as a citizen. But they didn't really convening. Places you want like Maine as there was no.
That was his son that signed it for her.
Oh, yeah. Who's the one that cut the taxes? Yeah, it's great. There was no plan. No plan how to administer it.
It's only getting worse.
Cut my taxes and raise yours. I'm not so sure I support that.
So that's all it is. People figure it It did that one year, it was Gingrich was sort of new with his little game here.
My brother had set the bar.
Oh, no.
And the wine is
Diane said, once in a while, you gotta go put your hand in all the finances too, but still, it has to be.
Oh, cross that.
You know, so this is progress.
Okay.
10 years ago, like, so you're 30 year, 40. It's kind of cool. I had like curious. I was too old. I'm not sure if I had like a DA now. Yeah, you can read what you think.
I know, huh?
But he said, they're not gonna talk about me. He said, they're just talking about things that weren't in the equity market. He had a hell of a That's how much. He said that in 2008, there was a great, great recession. And all the business panic. He said that all money people globally, all they had to do was open up. Money's gonna leave. He said, so this was, so when he was giving the lecture, this was 10 years ago, but it was 5 years after that. He said, I don't know what it means. As we said, you know, one theory he has is that when the earth is limitless, the earth is very fun in terms of money, capital, investment, so that was one of his things. So maybe too big to fail, but he was in the it's just too big. What do you do with that? Currency, it's just one currency. Everything was so interrelated. I don't know. That was the one thing I said. I took a bunch of notes and I don't know what they are. But he said, all the rules, 10 years ago, he said, the rules of the game that understood, he was probably 65 just sort of upside down.
You're the one that handed them all.
You don't know how many times
Just to try to finance
Please check in front of you and make sure there are no pages.
Get them all down.
Thank you all.
Oops.
Yeah.
Where's my check?
That was the first one. That's good. We're all good.
Okay. With that, we'll go on to number 6. See what action the board wishes to take regarding approval of the superintendent's nomination of the following individuals from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 2023-24 school year. And before we accept the motion on this, Dave has a point of clarification for 6 and that will apply to 6 and 7.
6, 7, right. So, just backing up a little bit, as you may know, there was a law in place that said that you had 2 years of probationary before you went to continuing contracts, so you actually had 3 years. That's changed. And although these next 3 motions will be presented to you in group form, if the board determines that they would rather vote on any of these, the next 2, any of these, by either of these by separate votes, you can do that. Someone can make the request to the board chair, but the only clarification I want to make is it only allows you to vote on each person, not to talk about each person. All of the people that are being recommended have been evaluated, observed and evaluated and recommended by the building administrators that are responsible for them. So that's why they're being presented in group format. But if there is a request to vote individually on these people, the board will entertain that suggestion. So your first item actually is teachers who will be going from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract. These are the new items.
Any questions?
I'd like to do at least the number 6 one individually, just because I have a conflict. My husband's employed by the Douglases, so I'd like to abstain from those.
Nice.
Not because I don't think they're qualified.
That's not that conflict? I don't think so.
Not really, but you do have that option and to vote individually if you choose to go that route.
I don't want it to ever be a question of conflict.
So, with that in mind, would somebody like to, should we make a motion on each one individually then, probably?
Yeah, maybe just a motion to accept taking them individually and then going one by
Okay.
one. So if that's a motion, Amy, to.
Or
vote
even if you
individually?
do it individually, just on the number 6.
Well, let's start, just do number 6 to begin
You want
with.
6
and
in?
then-
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, you wanna make a motion?
I'll
to
make a
do
motion to do
individually?
it individually.
Okay, second on that?
Second.
David. Any discussion on this? So this is just to break apart this individual.
And again, just to clarify, we can't speak about individuals, we just want yes or no on each of the individuals listed.
Any discussion on that motion? All in favor? Okay. So, 6 of. Alright, so now if we'd like to go through, if somebody wants to make a motion on each person, do that.
Or you could just list them off, I think, and we could look at the list of them.
Okay.
David?
Okay, let's do that. So we'll start with nominating Haley Andrews to a first probationary contract from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 2023-24 school year.
So moved.
Second. Okay. All in favor? All right, nominating Lorna Dever from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 2023-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I got a question.
Yeah.
If he's under the collective bargaining agreement, is this all encased?
This is actually state law, so people moving from a first probation have to be approved through the.
That's a statutory term. And then there's some reference to they're in the collective bargaining unit, right? These
They
people?
are, they're all part of the TEA, yes. Well, covered under the TEA contract.
Thank you, I just had a
Yep,
question.
yep.
And it's still-
Any more discussion on Lorna Dever? All in favor? Thank you. To nominate Brianna Douglas from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? And Amy abstaining from that
Abstain,
one.
please.
All right. Nominate Brittany Douglas to move from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? And abstaining from that. There's one abstaining for those two. Nominate Noah Grondin from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? To nominate Samantha Grosso from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? To nominate Natasha Howard from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Gotta shout it.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? And to nominate Danielle Johansson from a first probationary contract to a second probationary contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Alright, so. Hear all that?
Went from Scott to David to Stephanie. Stephanie Erickson doing the seconds.
Okay. Number 7, see what action the board wishes to take regarding approval of the superintendent's nomination of the following individuals from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
I make a motion to vote individually.
Okay. Second on that?
Second.
Okay, discussion on splitting this one apart just like the other one. All in favor? Alright, so we will start. Nominating Kevin Colby from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Nominating Deborah Doyle from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Nominating Jonathan Erb from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Meredith? Alright, nominating Crystal Gould from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Nominating Christy Hanscom from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Nominating Charity Mandarides from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Alright. Nominating Tracy Moran from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Nominating Jenny Smith from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? And nominating Rosemary Weiser from a second probationary contract to a continuing contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Cheryl?
No, I see.
Marcy?
I'm saving mine for the end.
Discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Opposed?
No, I'm for, I'm sorry.
Okay, me too. All right. With that, we will move to number 8. See what action the board wishes to take regarding approval of the superintendent's nomination of Jesse Anderson to a first probationary contract for the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Just to kind of fill you in, Jesse is the person I spoke to you about at the last meeting that we've been able to hire as a social worker at the middle school. Great find, and we're very excited to have him on board. This was, I'm sorry, yes, this was to take general insurance, so she services various schools. She will help special ed students and some others.
Further discussion? All in favor? Okay, number 9, see what action the board wishes to take regarding approval of the first reading of policy AC, non-discrimination, equal opportunity, and affirmative action. And the policy committee has a recommendation.
Recommend approval.
That does not require a second. Is there any discussion?
Just want to point out that the only change to this policy is the required addition of familial status in the second paragraph.
Question, is the amendment triggered by some edict from somewhere or court
State-
ruling or?
Yeah, it's a state change, changing state law, so we're required to make a change in the policy. It's under the legal references below, Scott, is really.
Yeah, they're all a
They're
long
all
time
tied-
ago.
They're all kind of tied into each other.
Any further discussion on that?
Yeah, the only thing I say, Dave, is that they're all, I mean, the dates of enactment are all ancient history. I didn't know there was something new.
Part of these are requirements that probably went back a little ways. We're just catching up in policy. I don't know exactly.
I'm
Recommended by NSNA based on.
I'm sure it is. I'm not vested in it, Dave, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Further discussion on this policy? All in favor? And number 10, to see what action the board wishes to take regarding the approval of the first reading of policy BB, school board legal status, and the policy committee member recommendation.
Policy committee recommends approval.
Now, on this page, if you just look at the previous rendition, which is on one side of the paper, it talks about how effective July 1st, 2018, the change was going to be made, and then the new policy actually makes that change. So, see the policy with the Xed out where it says effective July 1st, 2018. That's your new revision. Prior to that, we had made a change to the policy back after the voting was changed, and it just stated that effective July 1st, 2018, this new procedure will go into place. It has been in place obviously for a number of years now, so we're just playing catch up with some.
So arguably, it would have been deleted 5 years ago. Thank you.
Now, the language that was in it covered it, but it was funky, so.
That's fine.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Ready? Motion to adjourn.
Discussion, all in favor? Don't forget, we have the public budget hearing on May 24th.
Right. And it'll be in the auditorium, see there, auditorium. See that? You can keep those pens and contribute to the efforts that you're planning to see.
Oh, yes. We have more if you'd like.
State surplus.